What's up, world? Welcome back to Charge the Game podcast, and here we are again with another Paul Pierce video, and I will tell you guys the wonders he is working at Undisputed. But before I continue to talk about that, I want to ask you guys to do me a huge favor. Stop what you're doing, take a half of your second and hit that like button just to keep your boy in those algorithms, and also so that I can reach other people with this magnificent content. Thank you guys for all the love and support. Back to the video. So we know that Paul Pierce has literally been dominating Undisputed because he's literally gave Undisputed the boost, the breath of fresh air in the life. I mean, a long lifeline was tossed to Skip Bayless, man. And I know that he's enjoying every bit of this because, as you guys saw today, and probably the rest of the week and from here on out, Paul Pierce seems like he's going to be a great fit on this show. Simply because people respect the real, and there are a lot of people who pretty much feel the same way about certain things and topics that Paul Pierce discussed, and they resonate with it versus being in the industry plant and being pulled along by puppet masters of FS1. It seems like Paul Pierce is a rogue individual. He's very outspoken. His personality is very dominant at times, but it's not over dominant to where it's disrespectful. It's actually over dominant where it's much more appreciated. And as you guys can see, these are the current ratings. Now, I went in and put in March 18th. Obviously, this is a measurement up until March 19th, but I'm assuming that they release these weekly, being that this is the beginning of the week. I want you guys to look at this, man. March 18th, man, is when Paul Pierce, was on set. Skip Bayless took a huge dip, right? This is when everybody was talking about how, he was in that 50,000 worth of views. He hit a new low, and I'm assuming this was the low. Right after that is when things picked up gradually. Here's where you'll see the increase of March 18th, where Paul Pierce joined the show and instantly spiked it. Now, this goes all the way to March 19th, so it's not providing that much of an update. But this is a micro dosage of the Paul Pierce effect and everything that has been happening ever since Paul Pierce joined the show. I also have this report pulled up where it says Paul Pierce reportedly joining Skip Bayless in Undisputed. With Undisputed continuing to slide in ratings, the show is adding a new cast member and former Boston Celtics star Paul Pierce. Yeah, even if you guys look at the comment section, you will see, man, where everybody's just super overjoyed, delighted, and it's so much positive speaking going on, in the comment section about Paul Pierce, and that's the same thing I got instantly. I mean, literally, man, like from the first moments. Honestly, I've been a fan ever since him and KG do their thing, the podcast on Showtime. They seem to have organic energy, just like All the Smoke with Stack 5 and Matt Barnes. And it just seems like the same vibe I get from Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett. So to see this translate over into the Undisputed, where he kind of has the same demeanor as Keyshawn Johnson, except I feel like Keyshawn Johnson talks so much about being like quote unquote real and solid to where like it's kind of like it's really much more respected when the viewers grasp that for themselves, and like that's our takeaway from it. And we also know that, hey man, we don't know if this whole Richard Sherman thing or Michael Irvin thing, I will do a Richard Sherman video, so stay tuned for that. But we don't know if the Richard Sherman thing, to say the least, is going to be something that they want to continue to pursue, especially if they have just better talent. You know what I'm saying? Like Paul Pierce is one of those guys, I will legit listen to him talk about both sports, football, baseball, basketball. Like I'll listen to him talk about all of those. But it's certain takes that Richard Sherman and Keyshawn Johnson, I feel like they try to give, like they try to do like where they can cross over into other sports and talk certain things, and it just doesn't come off the tongue the way it did for past or former NFL players, as good as it did like Shannon Sharp, at least, right? Because he was a guy that knew football, stats, and he had personality, and that's a lot of what Paul Pierce possessed. And if Skip Bayless is smart, he knows where to find gold and where to strike it, and he found it and has striking again with Paul Pierce. I hope that this is something that they continue, and that Skip Bayless treats him right. I don't think no one on the panel will have the same problem Shannon Sharp has, simply because they just seem to be more respected. Like it just seems like Skip Bayless has more respect for people that he knows will jump across and slap him versus the ass kissing guys like Shannon Sharp. I know y'all love Shannon Sharp, man, but he was kissing Skip Bayless ass. And when you're naturally an ass kisser, then they already know that they can go to the extremities of disrespecting you because they know that you're more in awe of them and that they can get away with a lot more because you're over thankful for them. Like Shannon Sharp is very over thankful of most people. We see reports where a lot of people come out and say that he doesn't have the same energy for Caucasian men versus African American men, and that seems to be his niche in the industry. But if you are a rogue person like Paul Pierce, man, who don't care what color you are, who you are, and going to demand respect in him, respect will be given, and that will produce a good show. So let's get into the report again, where it says it's no secret that Skip Bayless and Undisputed have been struggling mightily on FS1 since the departure of Shannon Sharp. Now the show is adding another panelist in the hopes of turning things around, former Boston Celtics star Paul Pierce. And I can't stress this guys enough. I think that what really helped Skip Bayless notice this guy right away was every time he comes on set is he has somebody to quote unquote go at LeBron James. You don't have to have people lashing back out over his takes because, hey, this is Paul Pierce. His name is the truth. And what Paul Pierce was able to do was connect with a lot of people who share the same views of LeBron James that most people are afraid to speak about. You know what I'm saying? So off the rip, he's already winning. So I'm wishing Paul Pierce, man, the best of success. Hopefully he can keep the strippers and the marijuana away from set. But I hope that this is something that can blossom into a great partnership. I also feel like it should just be Skip and Paul. I don't think that Keyshawn Johnson needs to be there. I think he's a cool dude, but I don't know. It's something about him that just doesn't sit well with me. I think that he's a great dude. He seems like a fun guy. He seems tripped out, but I just like where I can look at a duo or a tandem that really works, and I think that you should stick with that. So we'll see, man. You guys tell me what y'all think as Paul Pierce is doing his thing on Undisputed, and Skip Bayless is loving every bit of it. So you guys, if you haven't had the chance to check out the new Undisputed look with Paul Pierce, I will ask you guys to go do that ASAP. Weigh in with your thoughts, comments, and concerns, and let me know like you often do. If you guys found any value from my videos, all I ask is that you leave a huge like button, hit that joint, subscribe to the YouTube channel for future content. Like always, let me know how you charge the game. Peace.